Hi, welcome back. Another great variation of bridge. So we switched out to a mini ball, but don't fret. If you don't have a mini ball, you could definitely use a block between the legs. The block or the mini ball is going to serve as a reminder for stability. So this is not about your thighs moving up and down like piano keys. This is what I like to think of as marching under the table. So your legs are moving, but the rest of your body is trying to remain super steady and stable. And don't be misled by this movement being super microscopic, super small, to have a really big punch. A lot of times the smaller, more intricate movements usually ask us to use a lot deeper muscles and a lot more mind-body connection, which in turn is going to definitely serve a bigger purpose in the long run to help us be able to create what we call mind muscles. So marching or bridge marching does just that. So we're setting up a neutral pelvis on the floor. We're going to keep a broad upper shoulder girdle, so we're not going to tuck. We're going to be more in that shoulder bridge that we were talking about previously. And then from here, lifting modestly. So nice deep breath in on the floor. Exhale, pushing into your feet and just lifting yourself up all at once. So we're at this nice angle again from the shoulder to the rib to the hip to the knee. Giving some good engagement on your ball or on your block to keep stability. So when Lainey alternates now, just inhaling and exhaling comfortably and lifting one foot barely off the floor, like an inch off the mat. And as a side note, I always love seeing what my students think is an inch. It's really small. She's just going to alternate, trying to pick up one foot at a time without moving her hips, like she has a water droplet in her navel, and trying to keep her thighs and knees as level as possible. So what I meant by the under the table is essentially just that. She's going to try to keep that block nice and level on her kneecaps or on top of this ball here, and so essentially it's a really small lift. So when she lifts one foot, she's actually trying to push into the opposite foot as she lifts. So there's this huge activation of the hamstrings and of the glute muscles. So don't ever confuse a strong muscle with a tight muscle. And the hamstrings are one that we often do that. They become very tight, but we aren't necessarily strengthening them. And a pose like bridge or bridge marching is essentially trying to strengthen those muscles, which is then giving you permission to then stretch them later on. And so I would say asking your students to do this for a minute or 30 seconds, 10 breaths, to really give them some time to feel the good, healthy challenge. This is not an advanced movement, but it definitely takes an advanced mindset to stay focused on a movement like bridge marching. And to come out, she can lift her heels high, and then exhale, roll her spine back into the floor just for a nice release. And knees can come into the chest, and just give herself a nice hug. Great job.